Hey guys, it's MacProTips from YouTube here, filling in for Mr. MacRight while he's away on holiday. Today, we're taking a look at his top 15 Mac games of 2024. Let's check it out. Number 15 is Farming Simulator 25. It ain't much, but it's honest work, is what I say to myself every time I boot up Farming Simulator 25. If you like growing crops, tending to the fields, or driving a tractor, do I have the game for you. Farm Sim 25 is a great addition to the Mac gaming library, letting you farm in 3 different countries, drive over 400 different machines, and even enjoy crossplay co-op as well. The performance is not amazing on Mac, so be sure to utilize the in-game resolution scale for better results. Farming Simulator 25 is available for Mac via the Mac App Store and Steam. Farming Simulator 25 is supported on a Mac with M1 or later, and it might work on the following AMD Intel Macs. Number 14 is Pools. For those who don't know, exploring large abandoned swimming pools is one of my favorite hobbies. That's why I was so glad to hear that the psychological horror game Pools got a Mac native port. Pools is a walking simulator, yes, but it's also much more than that. Explore vast liminal spaces full of unique pools, water slides, and surprises. There are no monsters chasing you, but the hyper-realistic graphics and top-notch audio mixing make Pools a must-play for lovers of suspense. The game runs decently on most Macs, but there is definitely room for improvement. Lowering the graphics and turning off depth of field was a must when testing on my M4 Mac Mini. But even at these lower settings, the game still looks wonderful. Pools is available for Mac via Steam. There's also a demo of the game on Steam as well. Pools requires a Mac with an M1 chip or later, and it may work on the following AMD Intel Macs. Number 13 is Riven. Solve intricate puzzles, explore beautiful environments, and scratch your head in confusion as you play this awesome Unreal Engine 5 remake of the original game first released in 1997. In 1997, Mr. MacRight was just a little baby. So cute. Riven is a fantastic remake with jaw-dropping environments, expertly crafted puzzles, and a wonderful sense of discovery around every corner. I can't recommend this game enough to the puzzle lovers out there. Performance is, I would say, decent, but Metal FX is needed to play the game at high resolutions. Riven is available for Mac via the Mac App Store, Steam, and GOG. It requires a Mac with an M1 chip or higher. Number 12 is Valheim. By Odin's braided beard, am I glad we got a Mac port of Valheim. Valheim is an open-world survival game with gorgeous procedurally generated environments. Battle, build, and conquer in single player or co-op with up to 10 players. I was lucky enough to get to play some Valheim with Mr. MacRight and Jay Fishin, and it was an absolute blast. We sailed the open seas, fought sea snakes, and even told stories around the campfire. Performance-wise, the game is tougher to run than it looks. Mr. MacRight played this game at 1080p on a base model M4 Mac Mini and was able to get about 60 FPS at medium graphics. Valheim is available for Mac via the Mac App Store and Steam. It requires a Mac with an M1 chip or later, and it may work on the following AMD Intel Macs. Number 11 is Nine Souls. Nine Souls is an incredible hand-drawn 2D Metroidvania with Sekiro-inspired combat. Play as Yi as he embarks on a hero's quest to slay the 9 souls. This game is truly next level. The artwork is exceptionally good, the combat is brutally hard but fair, and the story is deep and masterfully told. Nine Souls is one of the best games released in 2024, period, and I highly recommend it if you're looking for a true challenge. Nine Souls is available on Steam or you can get a DRM-free copy directly from the devs at redcandlegames.com. 9 Souls is supported on a wide range of Macs. Number 10 is Songs of Conquest. Songs of Conquest is a turn-based strategy game heavily inspired by the Heroes of Might and Magic series of the 90s. Lead powerful magicians called wielders and venture to lands unknown. Wage battles against armies that dare oppose you. Hunt for powerful artifacts and expand your territory. Players can try out the campaign mode featuring 4 choral campaigns, go into Conquest and play on pre-made or randomly generated maps, or even try out multiplayer. Songs of Conquest is available for Mac via the Mac App Store, Steam, GOG, and the Epic Games Store. The game is supported on a wide range of Macs. Number 9 is DREDGE. DREDGE is a single-player fishing game with just a touch of horror. Catch fish, sell them for money, upgrade your ship, and repeat. Just make sure you get back to the port by dark, or you may end up as food for the fish. DREDGE is a lot of fun, with a really satisfying game loop. I'm really happy DREDGE got a Mac port, as it's one of the best indie games of the year. Performance is fantastic on Macs across the board. DREDGE is available for Mac through Steam, the Epic Games Store, GOG, and will be available on the Mac App Store in late February, along with a universal iPhone and iPad version. DREDGE is supported on a wide range of Macs. Number 8 is Frostpunk 2. Frostpunk 2 is the latest city builder survival game from 11-Bit Studios. Rule over your post-apocalyptic city with an iron fist. Make difficult decisions like, do I give dwindling life-saving resources to my hungry people, or do I just let them starve to death? Starve, peasants. Frostpunk 2 runs pretty well on Mac. I highly recommend using Metal FX and sticking to 1080p or lower for the best performance. Here's the game running on an M4 Mac Mini at 1080p. Frostpunk 2 is available on the Mac App Store and Steam. It requires a Mac with an M1 chip or higher. Number 7 is Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. I think we were all surprised to hear that this game was getting a Mac port, but it's a welcome addition and one of the highest quality Metroidvanias I've played in a long time. The game has excellent 3D graphics, a sleek combat system, and a surprisingly deep story. Performance-wise, Prince of Persia runs very well on every Apple Silicon Mac, even getting a locked 60 FPS on the M1 Mac Mini. Unfortunately, the game is still capped at 60 FPS, which is quite disappointing, but I did reach out and the devs replied that they are working on a fix. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is available for Mac through the Mac App Store. It requires a Mac with an M1 chip or higher. Number 6 is Balatro. Oh, Balatro, how I wish I could quit you. For those that don't know, Balatro is a roguelike deck building game where you play poker hands powered up by really cool Joker cards. I've logged over 150 hours playing Balatro, and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. The game is lightweight and will run perfectly on your favorite Apple device. Balatro is available for Mac via Steam and is available to Apple Arcade subscribers on the App Store. Balatro is supported on a wide range of Macs. Number 5 is Hades 2. The more I play Hades 2, the more it becomes one of my favorite Mac games of the year. The game is perfect on Mac, easily getting a locked 60 FPS at 1080p on my M1 Mac Mini, or 4K 60 FPS on my M4 Mac Mini. While it's still in early access, Hades 2 already has a massive amount of content, recently receiving the massive Olympic update, which brings even more weapons, chiseled Greek gods, explorable regions, and minigames. Hades 2 has so many more layers than Hades 1, with lots of wonderful surprises that reveal themselves the more you play it. I highly recommend checking it out, even in early access. Hades 2 is available for Mac on Steam. It requires a Mac with an M1 chip or higher. Number 4 is Neva. One of my personal favorites on this list. Neva is a Studio Ghibli-inspired adventure platformer from the team that brought us Gris. The game is a deeply emotional adventure that follows a young woman named Alba and her wolf as they traverse a rapidly dying world. The art in this game is next level, and I highly recommend you check it out. It's just beautiful, with expansive, hand-painted scenery that is truly breathtaking. I'm no artist, but if I saw Neva hanging in an art museum, I'd think to myself, this is very pretty. Neva is available for Mac via the Mac App Store and Steam. Neva is supported on a wide range of Macs. Number 3 is Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. This is a game that I definitely finished completely and didn't have to stop playing because it was too scary. Resident Evil 7 is horror gaming at its best. Taking place in the Deep South, play as Ethan Winters as you search for your missing wife, all while being tormented by the infamous Baker family. This is a fantastic Mac port, which should be expected for a game originally released in 2017. Mr. MacRight played this on an M1 MacBook Pro and was able to easily achieve 60 FPS and even higher. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard is available for Mac on the Mac App Store. Once purchased, you can also play it on your iPhone or iPad. It requires a Mac with an M1 chip or higher. Number 2 is Resident Evil 2. Great news! Gamers can finally explore Raccoon City on Mac in Resident Evil 2. Yippee! RE2 is one of my favorite games of all time. Something about being chased by Mr. X really makes me feel alive. Play as Leon Kennedy and Claire Redfield as you try to stop a horrific zombie takeover. Capcom has previously given us 3 other fantastic Resident Evil ports for Mac, and this one is no different. The game is super well optimized, often hitting a locked 60 FPS in most areas of the game. Resident Evil 2 is a blast to play on Mac, and I really hope Capcom continues to bring their games to this platform, especially the RE3 remake. Resident Evil 2 is available for Mac via the Mac App Store, but once purchased, you can also play it on your iPhone or iPad. It requires a Mac with an M1 chip or higher. Number 1 is Death Stranding. Death Stranding wasn't just one of the biggest Mac releases of the year, but maybe one of the biggest Mac releases of all time. Can I say that? Play as Sam Bridges, the ultimate delivery guy, as you spread hope to humanity one shipment at a time. I think it's a really good sign that Apple is interested in bringing big AAA games like Death Stranding to Mac. Yes, the game originally released in 2019, but look at it. The graphics are simply amazing, and it runs great across the board on Mac. Like really, even on an M1 MacBook Pro, Death Stranding runs pretty darn decently. Death Stranding is available for Mac via the Mac App Store. But once purchased, you can also play it on your iPhone or iPad. The game requires a Mac with an M1 chip or later. So yeah, those are Mr. MacRight's top 15 games of 2024. What do you think? I think overall it was a solid year for Mac gaming, even though there were quite a few delays into 2025. What Mac games are you looking forward to playing in 2025? Make sure to leave a comment saying how good of a job I did in this video, and a big thank you to Mr. MacRight for having me on. Take care everyone. Peace.